to Disciplines of Motorcycle Competition. This is a short video to help you recognise and hopefully join us out on the track for motorcycle competition. There are also non-competitive disciplines of motorcycling, but we're only going to cover the competitive stuff at the moment. When most people think of motorcycle competition, they think of MotoGP, AMA Supercross or freestyle. There's so much more to motorcycle competition than just these types of events. Most are speed related, but some are all about point scoring and control of the motorcycle. Motocross is the most popular discipline around the world. Starting at local club level, riders can work their way through region, state, national and international level. All riders start at club level and work their way to the top ranks. Riders can start at 4 years of age and continue through until they are unable to ride a bike anymore. There are many different classes for riders, including ages, ability, bike sizes and gender. This gives anyone who can control a bike a class to compete in. Track styles and conditions vary from track to track. Hard pack through to sand can be used. Motocross tracks follow as much of the natural terrain as possible, but man-made obstacles may be thrown in. Of course, nature does come into play with the sport of motocross. One very big challenge is rain. Muddy conditions are very challenging on riders and machines. Motocross is a very physical sport. Because of this, motocross has been recognised as one of the most physically demanding sports in the world, and riders are among the fittest athletes in the world. Supercross is a spin-off of motocross. A lot is the same, but so much is different. Supercross is 100% man-made tracks, usually in stadiums of some description. Obstacles are much bigger and difficult. Supercross is to bring the sport to the people. Supercross and motocross seasons run opposite to each other, as Supercross riders are usually motocross riders as well. Freestyle also had its origins in motocross. Freestyle is one of the disciplines that is not based around speed. Freestyle is a point scoring system. This is based on difficulty and execution of a trick to score the highest points. Vintage motocross is a part of the sport where it's great to get the old bikes out on the track and see what they used to be able to do and reminisce about the days of gone by. Sidecars or side cross is a way of having a team in motocross. Get together with a mate you can trust and really ride together. Anything that can be done on a solo bike can also be done on a sidecar. Moto Trials is one of the very special events that are not about speed. Moto Trials is all about bike control and self-control. Moto Trials is a scored event. It works by riding a marked out section, usually in a creek or any outdoor area that can be used. Each time you put a foot down, it is 1 point, up to a maximum of 5 points. Many levels of rider can ride trials on funny looking bikes, purpose built for trials, or you can even ride on a conventional dirt bike. Many riders of other disciplines use moto trials as cross training, as it is the best form of learning bike skills and control. Balance, clutch, brake and throttle control are all crucial to riding trials. There are a lot of classes and a lot of levels to moto trials, from juniors to seniors, beginners and pros, modern to even vintage bikes. There is also the extreme version called arena trials. These events are held in stadiums on fully man-made sections. Arena trials are very spectacular for spectators and extremely exhilarating for riders. Arena trials are for the pro level riders, and you will need to build your bike skills before attempting the arena trial sections. Off-road competition is based around heading out to a large area, setting out a course in the natural environment and making a race of it. Courses vary in length from 2 kilometres to as long as you can make it. Conditions can be from a basic paddock with a course pegged out to massive hill climbs and river crossings. Any obstacle that is available can be used for the course. There are many different formats to off-road racing. Enduro is a very popular format that takes in physical and machine endurance. The Enduro sections are more about timing. Getting to the next checkpoint too fast will actually incur a penalty. Bike repairs must be done out on the course, and just to make it more interesting, you may have to do a mandatory tyre change as well. Enduros are usually over a few days, such as the most prestigious event in the world, the International 6-Day Enduro. Yes, it is run over 6 days. There is also a sprint format, where riders race against the clock, leaving the start line one at a time to put down their fastest lap times. To beat their oppositions, they must do faster laps. Pony Express is a very interesting format, where you're in a team of 2 riders. One rider goes out on the course at a time. When that rider comes back in, the second rider will head out. Pony Express races can go for many hours, but riders get a rest while their teammate is out on the course. This also allows time to do any repairs and maintenance to the machines and to refuel. There are also many variations of these formats in off-road racing, depending on how creative the organisers get. One example of this is the Extreme Enduro, where the courses are crazy with heights and difficulty. Most events cater for all ages, and there is also Vinduro events for the vintage bikes. Another form of off-road racing is the desert races. Desert racing is very, very tough. The best known desert race in the world would have to be the Dakar. The Dakar is over a number of days. Not all desert races are quite as hard as the Dakar, but they all hold their own abilities to themselves. Track racing has many versions and variations, but some things are common across all. The courses are flat and made of dirt. Around the world, track racing is used as a lead into road racing. Most road races use track racing as great cross-training. Track racing is fast and requires a lot of skill in sliding a bike. Bikes vary. Some competitors ride dirt bikes with different tyres that are more suitable to the track. Then there are very modified dirt bikes with very special setups. These are a very common scene around the dirt track area. Then there are sliders. These bikes look like speedway bikes, but are actually very different in their setups. There is the vintage side of track racing, where the old bikes of yesteryear come out to play. Sidecars are an interesting event, to team up with somebody that you actually do trust to go out on the track and have a great amount of fun. Speedway is fast and furious. Speedway riders like to go around in circles at an amazing speed while sideways. Speedway tracks are dirt surface and go in an anti-clockwise direction. Bikes are very specialised machines, purpose-built to do one thing, go sideways very fast. There is only 4 bikes on the track for a race, so elimination heats and finals are the norm for Speedway. There are also junior classes for the younger riders. Sidecars are included in Speedway as well. Road racing is a massive sport. There are events run all around the world, and road racing's premier event, MotoGP, is the most watched discipline of motorcycle competition. There are many different formats of road racing, but all of them are run on tar. Formats of road racing range from scooters doing laps of a go-kart track, to world superbikes, to the mecca of road racing, Isle of Man. Road racing is the fastest motorcycle discipline of all. In the premier events, bikes can reach speeds over 300 km an hour. Bikes vary greatly between formats, everything from scooters to modified dirt bikes to standard road bikes to hand-built one-off machines. All of them are a load of fun though. Juniors have many different formats as well, with just about any bike you can think of. Vintage and classic road racing is a large part of the road racing discipline. Sidecars also have their own classes and events at different series. Motorcycling has a worldwide governing body called the FIM. Each country has their own body that comes under the FIM. Of course there are side bodies as well, but the FIM is where the World Championships reside, such as MotoGP. The FIM have their rulebook, but most countries may vary slightly from these rules to suit their area. But underneath, the majority of the world use the FIM rulebook. For further information on the rules in your area, search for area's controlling body. For example, in Australia, the governing body is very creatively named Motorcycling Australia. Of course, other than the disciplines that I have spoken about, there are some special disciplines that reside mainly in specific countries as well. In some of the frozen countries during their winter, they may have an ice speedway. Think normal speedway with spiky tyres. Another one I find interesting is motoball. This is soccer on motorbikes. And hill climbing is another discipline that has really crazy looking bikes and is very spectacular to watch. No doubt there's a lot more out there as well, but this has just basically been an overview of the disciplines of motorcycle competition as they stand.